All right, and we are live.
Sweet. Good.
We did it.
How's it going? Yep. How's it going, Paul?
Oh, it's been okay, all things considered. It's been kind of a weird week this week. Do you,
Right on.
yeah, do you know what I'm talking about by that? Like, I want to
Think
say something about it, so, but
no, go ahead. Now's a good time.
yeah, just at the top of the show here. And, one of the reasons why our co-host needed to just sit out for a little bit here. Basically, it's been kind of a hard week. A lot of Twitch personalities specifically, but streaming personalities and some like just video game industry adjacent people in general have been outed as being abusers of different women and stuff like that, and it's been this kind of whole clusterfuck. And it's been a really, really rough time for a lot of people. And there's not a whole lot, obviously, we can say here. Two white dudes sitting around talking about the abuse of women as if we know anything to do with that, like, by personal experience. But I do feel like we should say, or at least I want to say that, as somebody who has known women and been friends with women and been in relationships with women that have had abusive past and stuff, this shit is absolutely deplorable. It's unfortunate that so many good seeming people turned out to be a little scummy on the back end.
Not even a
Unfortunately,
little, man. Like,
yeah,
I feel like there's no gray area to this stuff. It's quite binary. You're either you did something shitty
yeah,
and you're a dirtbag, or you didn't.
yeah. I mean, the gray area is relationships are weird. People get uncomfortable with each other. What I'm talking about is like literal abuse. That stuff has been that shit has no gray area for sure. And like I just feel like we have to say something because a lot of our audience comes from John. A lot of these people might have been people you have heard of because John has either hosted them, had them on his stream, or given them part of his platform at some point, which is why he needed to take some time off and just kind of cool down. Pretty stressful moment for him specifically, which is why he's not here. And I just want to like say we shouldn't be
Right, but
brigading. Mhm.
it also goes like outside of John, just to like
Oh,
everyone.
it goes huge. It's way
Like
bigger.
this
Yeah.
this is just kind of like,
Yeah.
like we said a few weeks ago, you got to support your fellow man, you got to support your fellow woman, regardless of who they are. And
Yeah.
we don't stand for that.
Right.
And we hope you guys know that, we keep this space safe. We work hard to do that. Um,
Mhm.
and, we personally have like no tolerance for that. We don't think anyone should have tolerance for that, and we wanted you guys to know that kind of where we stand as well.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want any brigading going around. We all know the names. We've seen the list. I have personally been following this very closely. This stuff is really close to me. I've been very closely following all of this stuff, and it's been really, really bad. It's been just nothing but days of reading people's worst days of their life, essentially for me. But like again, I don't want any people brigading or like attacking people or whatever. There's enough people doing that as it is. I guess like the message I want is when a woman is speaking out, give her the respect to listen, no matter what your opinion on that person or the people involved is. And most importantly, if you're a part of this community and like something's going on with you, please behind the scenes let like somebody know, and we can like stomp that shit out as well. Like you can hit me up in the DMs anytime, and I will be sure to at least follow up if any real serious complaints. So yeah, that's
Right. And I guess kind of just last thing, like we said a few weeks ago, is if you feel like this is not really your place, or it doesn't impact you, or you're not really connected, the least you can do is just listen,
yep,
and not turn a blind eye when something maybe does come across your screen, or your face or whatever.
yep,
So just listen and believe. I think those are like the
yep,
bare minimum, and it goes a long way.
yep. And I mean, I'm furious. I am absolutely fucking livid these last few days. But again, let's not attack people. If there's a problem in our community that I can help solve, please let me know. Otherwise, yeah, sorry to start this on a downer. I really feel passionately about this.
Now for the like impossible pivot, right? No easy segment or segue to video games, but this is a video game show.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if I could did I watch any movies last week? Did I watch any TV shows? What have I been up to? You've been up. How's your last week? You've been up to anything special?
Nothing special. My girlfriend and I have started watching this show on Netflix that's like hot lava or something, or like lava. You know, as a kid you would play like the floor is lava. Yeah. It's that.
Oh wait,
in a
is that actually
TV
what
show.
It's about? Okay.
It's a game show where like teams of two have to go through an obstacle course of just like random shit to like get across, and it like she loves it. I think it's dumb, but like I've been watching it with her. It's kind of fun though if you like weird.
Is it like at all times the floor is lava, or is it kind of like a red light green light scenario?
No,
where
all
you can stand on the
times.
floor and all times. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a weird
So
like
then it's
red
just like
fruit
a climbing.
juice.
It's like a climbing
Totally.
race.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. We've been watching this show, kind of similar, kind of fitness oriented. The Titan games came back for season 2 a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
This is a show produced in part. I don't know how much he really does. He hosts it. The Rock. It's like an American Ninja Warrior kind of thing.
Okay.
But more competitive, and instead of just like get through this course, it's like two people have to like race up a hill carrying a super heavy log. Who can do that 3 times moves on to the next round, kind of thing.
Mhm.
That one's pretty fun. And what's special about season 2 is they brought in these. Are they just called Titans? I think they might just be called Titans. The Rock brought in some of his friends from like professional fitness areas. So there's some like ex NFL players. There was like a Olympic boxer. There actually was this one woman who I actually seen on American Ninja Warrior. She's one of like the best women on American Ninja Warrior who came in, and they kind of always are on like the final challenge that these competitors from the States have to like overcome, and that's fun. That's a fun show.
Cool.
That one's on Hulu if you're in the States. If you're not, I don't know where you watch that show.
Yeah. Maybe Crave. Yeah. Crave seems to be the catch-all for Canada for the random stuff.
Right. That's what people kind of mention when I am recommending Hulu stuff to them up north. But I don't know if I have Crave down here. Does America have Crave? I don't watch Crave.
I think it's Canada specific. Yeah.
Maybe it's Canada specific, but then, and also another Hulu one. This one just ended a couple weeks ago. What We Do in the Shadows is one of the best TV shows going on right now, hands down.
Okay. Cool.
Cannot recommend that enough.
I just got an email today from Cineplex saying, "Hey, we're open, and for a limited time, every movie's like $5. What do you feel about going to the movies during a pandemic?"
No. I've also been seeing those emails going around for the theater chains down here, and just like, it sounds so bad. The first one was like, "Hey, we're opening up, but we're not making you guys wear face masks." And then I guess they like rolled that back, and they're like, "Okay, we'll make you guys wear face masks." No way, man. Being stuck in like a room with circulating air with people. Here's the big thing. Even if I felt it was safe to go do, I don't trust the other like public to be as cautious as I'm going to be. Like, I don't trust them to wear a face mask correctly, if not at all. I don't trust them to wash their hands. Like, so like, even if it like technically was safe, someone else is just going to ruin it because they don't care. And I keep seeing it. And that's why the States hit a new record high this last week. And it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not into the idea either.
The other thing is, like, there's like nothing coming out, really.
There's also that. Yeah. I guess like
no
Tenet
real reason
is the only one.
That's the one thing is Tenet. He kept saying it's going to happen, and then he delayed it by 2 weeks, as if it's going to happen 2 weeks later. Like, what are you doing, Nolan? I guess we'll actually talk about Nolan a little later in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's nice because I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
Sure.
Because there's no movies. But I still wouldn't anyway. Also, the place I'm in is like locked down tighter than a lot of the states or a lot of the other areas in California even are, which I appreciate.
Oh yeah.
So I'm in no hurry. But yeah, LA is the new record high #1 spot in the states. They just couldn't
They couldn't let New
stand
York
that
have it.
New York, exactly, right? They just had to get it back.
West Coast, Best Coast, all that shit.
Yeah, thanks a lot, you idiots down in LA. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the top down perspective for June 25th. I'm still Sean Booker.
I am unfortunately still Paul Fleck.
Ouch. Okay. Well, maybe more fortunately, why don't we talk about what we've been playing?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
We're not going to spoil stuff. Don't worry.
No.
This is a non-spoiler discussion, just in case anyone.
This is just going to be about mechanics, even if that, because some mechanics are tied to maybe some spoilery stuff that I won't get into. I was joking, kind of, but not really, saying how The Last of Us has been a nice escape from the realities of what's going on in the real world, because that is a fucking bummer of a game, but it's somehow not as big of a bummer as the shit that's been going on in the world.
Last week you were nearing the end of 1.
I finished 1.
That up first.
And the DLC.
You did the DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any kind of final thoughts you want to say on that before we get into 2?
That DLC, I know why they kind of had to tie together where she's in the mall looking for like the meds for Joel to like kind of tie back. Like it was all about the flashback, so the mall stuff was the worst part of that DLC. Her character building with Riley is the best part of that thing. So it was always in it.
Talk to any specifics. It's been so long since I played. I remember really enjoying that DLC.
It's very short, like surprisingly short. I thought it'd be a little longer, but yeah, it was fun.
I thought it's like a few hours at least.
It was like 1.5, and I was going slow. Like it was quite.
Oh, okay. I remember it being
small.
A bit longer, but again, it's been years, so I could be misremembering.
Sure. But yeah, so that tied into Last of Us 2. So I will say just right from the get-go, The Last of Us 2 plays so much better. The Last of Us 1 is kind of a fucking like gnarly game to go back to. It's a little floaty in the controls, everything feels a little off. Last of Us 2 plays like perfectly fine, like a modern game even. Go figure. It's almost like it was made this year as opposed to 7 years ago. So The Last of Us 2, just from a mechanical standpoint, just feels so much better. And actually, it's quite a joy to play. Weird story stuff aside, I will say.
Yeah. I will say that kind of like the getting down to it, like how you play it, like which buttons do what, is just weird compared to like your typical shooter. Like L1 is run.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then,
yeah.
R2 is reload. Which took me a really long time to be like, am I just gonna like from the hip fire right now? Because I am not in a position where I can just shoot the wall. So I had to like really be like, is this right? Okay, it is.
I mean, I've never liked the shooting in that game, even the first one at all. But like, it's better in this one for sure. The fact that I went from the first one to the second one so seamlessly, like that control scheme is the exact same. So that was so nice.
You're just used to it.
It was it was totally fine for sure.
I love and I don't think the first one had that, correct me if I'm wrong, the like quick throw a brick at someone.
It did
R2.
Not. Yeah, it's very good.
That thing is awesome. Yeah. That to the point where like that's my go-to. That's like my standby is I always have the brick out just in case someone comes around a corner, so I can be like, ha, right in your face.
Yep, it gives you just kind of that extra second to like figure out what you're gonna do if you get jumped on for sure.
Yep.
The dodge is so good. Oh, okay. Sorry.
How far are you? If you can somehow.
I can't somehow. I'm 12 hours in. I can't.
I'm just behind you.
I can't somehow say.
Right. I'll say where I am in vague terms. I just met the scars.
Okay. I'm behind you then. I'm taking a long time going through things.
Oh, you are taking a long time. Okay.
I'm reading stuff on the walls everywhere.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm reading all the pickups. I'm enjoying those.
The pickups
for
are
the
good.
most part, like are like how are you encountering these like combat scenarios? Are you like stealthing your way through them and then exploring the whole area? Are you just
Yeah,
trying to get out of
no,
the back?
I never try to just get out. In fact,
Um,
I've been stealthing until I'm made, basically, then I'll kill everything because I want to look at the whole area.
yeah, I'm doing that for the most part. I think
Yeah.
there was one time where I just like was like, no, I'm good.
There's parts of that
I'll
they
pass.
force you to run through, for sure, because it's like,
Those ones are fun. Yeah, yeah. But I think there was one specific encounter where I was like, I'm just gonna skip past this. I also just tried to do that a second ago and just got rocked. And then there
yeah,
was so many guys chasing
yeah,
me. Oh my god.
there's so
I
many.
was yeah. Um, it's good. I'm really enjoying it. I would say I haven't seen anything like apart from the moment that happens 2 hours into the game. I haven't seen anything like super brutal. I have, however, heard that is all in the back half, and it gets pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty brutal all the way through, but yeah, nothing especially currently, for sure. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I don't care about that story at all so far. I just don't. It's it's a good. You know what? I can't even talk about it without it getting leaked of what I'm gonna say. I can't talk about it at all, so I just
Okay.
won't.
I'm fine with the story.
Let me put it this way: John Wick is a good movie because it's short. If John Wick was 20 hours, I think I would just hate that thing. I don't. There has to be more than just brutally murdering
Okay.
people that have wronged you. I think.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
I'm
I'm
sure there's
trying to
more
like.
in the back end. In fact, I
Yeah.
know there is because people keep
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
playing. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I'm not bored. Like I'm having a great time. I think I think the game looks fantastic.
It does look fantastic. I think I prefer
I
the more steadily paced narrative of the first one though. Like I liked set pieces and like that they have crafted these areas out. This is kind of more like you're exploring an area for stuff. You're surviving. Like this is more
yeah.
survival, less narrative
Yeah.
driven.
Did you play Uncharted Lost Legacy?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because that's when Naughty Dog first did their like, hey, here's kind of like a small open world kind of area, and they have that in Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask like, how'd you like that? Because that was not in Last of Us 1. They kind of figured that out in Lost Legacy.
Yeah, that's what I'm not a huge fan of necessarily. I like the
Oh, I
more
like that. I mean, I've only had to do it the one time so far. I'm assuming they'll do another one of those.
I like the more
Um,
structured, like narratively driven. This is the area you have to get through. Like, I guess it's a little different too. Last of Us One is literally a journey of you going from point A to B with story happening, and this is more like you have an end goal for your character, and you're just trying to like find out the best way to do that. Essentially, like
right.
narratively.
Well, I mean, you're still going point
Narratively.
A to point B, but there's just like wider areas. Like
Hmm.
when you first get to Seattle, the thing opens up for a bit. It's still not
Yeah.
huge, but you can
No.
go to like, there's like little kind of almost like side buildings you can explore and do things.
Yeah.
Which I liked. There hasn't been anything of that scale, but you'll come across like, oh, here's like a whole street and there's like shops and stuff that you can go do stuff in each time.
Yeah.
Um, or you can just like walk down the street and get to the end of it. Uh,
There's a surprising amount of like in this game. I've never felt like I'm missing out on crafting stuff. I feel like I'm always full on craftables. Like, but I'm scavenging a lot, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think it's because you're scavenging a lot. I'm pretty full on crafting stuff too. Again, I am also scavenging a bunch, but I'll say the things I'm lowest on is usually bullets.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, for the most
because like
part.
I'll either be like, oh, I'm totally good, or I'm like, oh man, I am completely out of bullets. Whole this is uh-oh.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
I hate dealing with the dogs.
Dogs are the worst. They're the absolute
They're, s-
worst.
they're so annoying. Um, and the what's the other enemy that I hate? It's one of the infected types. What's the big infected type that like explode?
The Shamblers.
Shamblers. What's your strategy for the Shamblers?
Molotov, 2 shotgun shots while it's burning. Usually.
Okay. What's your stealth approach to the Shamblers?
If I'm just trying to get through, I slowly move, and then if it sees me, I run as fast as I can away from it.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
fuck,
because
those
usually with the
things suck.
Shamblers, like every time I come across one, I'm like, okay, what here? I'm gonna try. What can I do? Can I stun them? Nope. All right, fight the whole room. Okay, new one. Okay, what can I do? Can I stab them? Nope. Okay, fight the whole room.
Yeah,
Um,
they're a
I'm still
bummer.
trying to figure out.
But they're
They are
somehow
super
not as
annoying.
bad as bloaters still. Bloaters are so fucking bad. The original
Yeah.
big enemy.
Have you come across the one in 2 yet?
The bloater?
There's a bloater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a.
That's a
That one
bummer.
was like weirdly strong. Like that took forever to kill.
That was that was a fucking boss. That was a boss fight. That was a bummer.
Yeah, I knew it was coming though. Like my girlfriend
Yeah.
was there. I was like, "What do you think the chances are someone gets grabbed like right
Right
now?"
here.
And
Yep.
then boom.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
It's
yeah.
unfortunate we can't talk about that spot because that is a spoiler. That part. That
Yeah,
whole part
for
in
sure.
general.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that take on me part. I loved. I
Okay.
enjoyed that quite a bit.
Oh, this
Um,
is something I wanted to say. The attention to detail in this game is fucking crazy.
yeah,
Let me talk about some stuff that's dope. There's a gun on the counter, right? It's like, oh, there's a bullet here. Usually in a video game, you just pick up that gun because it's a pickup like thing or whatever. In this game, when you pick up that bullet, Ellie ejects the magazine and takes it and puts it in her pocket, and the gun is sitting there empty.
yeah.
That's
The fact that
crazy.
you like unlock every deadbolt on the doors as
Yeah.
opposed to just like like high five the door and it's open
Yep.
like a video game. Um, there's like a weird amount of like detail in the guns when you're crafting.
It's so good. She's
Like
actually
she
like
turns that
filing
lights
shit
on and then
down.
she's like, allow me to just take apart this gun and put it back together and file this thing and
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot there for sure.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of detail to everything.
A
Like
whole lot of the
everything and like
mirrors work in the world.
all, yeah, for sure. I think the glass breaking looks really good.
Glass breaking's very good. There's more.
One
Oh,
thing I don't like,
the animations
and
and movement are very good. Like the dodging
all
is
the
so good.
animations. Oh, for sure. Yeah, even just like the combat, like when you get shot and you get like knocked down to your back,
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh shit. Uh-oh.
it's very good.
One thing I don't like is the listening. I feel like the listening only works once you've like entered an encounter because like every time I open a door, I start listening.
Oh,
But there's
yeah.
like it seems the way the game is set up is they only want you to be able to see the enemies once you've like reached a certain like distance inside a building, like you're actually in the like fight zone or whatever. Like let me give you an example. I'll go up to a door that's closed and I'll like listen to be like, is there anyone on the other side? Don't see anything. I'll open the door. The game now says, oh, you are now in the like, here's where an enemy is.
Yeah.
And then there could be like an enemy right there, or I could get like jump scared by an enemy. It's like, well, if he was behind this door this whole time, why could I not hear him? And it's like the game is kind of breaking its own rules just to make these more like scary moments.
The first game did
Um,
that too. It's annoying. Yeah, I thought
yeah.
that.
As
I
someone who
thought
doesn't
maybe
like
they'd
being
do it
scared,
better.
I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it. Like that's the thing is pretty consistently I can only play about an hour of this game before I'm like, all right, that's enough of the stress simulator. I'm going to do something else because I'm just constantly on edge
Oh
the
wow.
whole time. Yeah.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I think that's a video game problem. It is weird that with so many improvements to the game, that feels still 2013. The fact that like, oh, those enemies had to load before you could hear them, and they don't load until you're in the like area.
Right. Well, I don't even think it's an issue of like loading. I think it's literally just like, oh, we're not going to show you because if we
Yeah.
do, you'd be too ready, and we want you to be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Because
true.
like
It's a little
there's one
cheap.
like the game plays with some meta stuff. There's I'm trying not to be spoiler.
It's
There's a
really
thing you
hard.
do where you typically, there's definitely kind of things where you feel safe. And one thing I actually really do like, as a quick side note before I continue this anecdote, is your teammate or Ellie will often say something when the room is clear,
Yeah.
which is so nice because as someone who's always on edge, I can finally like breathe out and be like, okay, now I can actually explore, as opposed to like sneaking my way around and trying to listen. So I love that does that. Um, But so there's definitely parts in the game where it's like, oh, this is typically a you are safe now moment, and they'll play with that, and you are not safe.
Yeah.
Um, and that's cool. But what's also dumb is I was listening as I snuck my way up to this safe spot. If there were people there, I should have been able to hear them. But as soon as I entered in the safe area and you guys did your surprise jump scare, now there's people like, what?
Yeah.
So it's just an example of they're breaking their rules a little bit just to make sure they can scare you a bit better.
Yeah. It feels cheap.
Which
You're not
Watchmen
wrong.
do.
I agree.
Um,
I want to gush more
yeah,
about
I'm
some
liking
of the
it.
stuff in this game. The fact that when you're playing the guitar, every chord is represented, and you can actually strum your thing, and you can actually play a song if you know the chords, even though it's a mess because you have to push L1 and R1 to switch between different like sets of chords. So, but like, yeah, I don't know. The guitar stuff is really cool, which I was not
The
expecting.
strumming is just like, I mean, it's not bad. It's just so gimmicky.
It's so
Like
good.
using the touchpad to strum. Similarly, like when your flashlight goes out, and then you have to like
Shake
shake the
it.
controller.
That's
Like
from
it,
the
it,
first
it
one,
almost
yeah.
seems like we're at the end of a generation. This is the best developer on PlayStation, right? It's like it's almost like, why are you guys doing this? Like this seems like something you would do at like the beginning of a generation to be like, hey, look what we put in there. It almost makes me feel like Naughty Dog's just going like, I don't know, it's funny, right? Right, guys? It seems so out of place.
It's actually crazy how good you can finesse that touchscreen too for the guitar. Because if you like strum the touch screen on like the edges or a little bit, you can hit like one or two strings instead of all six. If you go across the whole thing, it's weird how much detail is in that.
But it makes me think like just one designer was like, I'm just gonna go nuts on this. Is that cool, guys? And they're like, sure. Like, why
Yep.
not?
Yeah. Or like while they were waiting for it to go gold or something, they needed something to do, so they spent a few days working on that.
Yeah.
It's weirdly like crazy how good that is. Um Everything I want to talk about with this game is story heavy. So I know at some point when I'm done it, I'll be talking on some thing about it. So we can save like that discussion because I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. For
It's
like,
long. How long to beat has it? About 20 hours.
oh, okay.
Uh, which will probably be more for you. You seem to be going at a slower pace. I can't see
Mhm.
myself going at a fast pace. I'm assuming I'm going kind of at an average pace.
Mhm.
Just knowing me.
I was
Um,
expecting to do probably up to 30. I have kind of booked in my head. If this is longer than 30 hours, it's too long in my head. So I'm probably gonna be fun.
I like all the accessibility stuff. You can really fine tune
Yes, dude.
every little thing about the encounters.
Okay.
I have everything just kind of set to default. You can
Oh,
change it while you're playing. Like it doesn't have to be, make a decision at the beginning and that's your game. You can change it kind of whatever you want. The one thing you can't change, however, though, which is kind of weird, is they ask you at the beginning, "Hey, do you want to add the pre-order bonus into the game?" Which
oh,
I like that they ask you, because a lot of the time these pre-order bonuses, and I think the one for Last of Us, it kind of unbalances what the core game is. And did you pre-order it?
no.
Okay, so I mean, I pre-ordered it like the day before, just so I would have the preload, so I'm ready to play. Kind of minute one, it goes live. Um, the pre-order bonus was like it's an extra like your magazine can hold like one extra bullet for like everything,
Whoa, that's actually really
which
good.
it's really good, but it kind of changes what the core design of that game is, right?
A little bit,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So I had selected yes because I didn't know what it was at first, and then I found out later you can't turn that off. Once you make
That
that
makes sense.
decision,
Yeah.
that's your game. Which is weird though. I didn't. When I found out what it was, and I was like, I kind of would rather have the core game experience. I was only like half an hour in. I didn't even have a gun yet, and I still couldn't change
Oh,
it
oh, weird.
because you
Huh.
don't get a gun for like an hour or so into
Yeah,
that
for a
game.
while. True.
Um, uh, but yeah, that's just kind of weird. And but I did like that they asked, do you want to even put this in there? Because yeah, a lot of the times the pre-order bonuses will just kind of like break the first few hours of a game. If it's like, here's a really strong gun, and it's like, well, the first few hours of the game were not designed to have this gun. Um, so that was just kind of cool.
The accessibility options are freaking amazing. So, like, this probably doesn't mean anything to people that play on console normally. The fact that you can change your field of view and like certain things and the oh my god, there was a few other things I'm trying to remember now. Motion blur is a big one. All this stuff that like you would on PC games usually makes it so people like me don't get motion sick after playing for a while. So I've been doing like 4-hour sessions pretty
I feel like
regular.
motion blur is pretty common on consoles.
Yeah, field of view is not at all.
Field of view is not. It's not unheard of. Like I know Apex has that, but that's the only other game I can think of.
Uh, Unlike the first games, you can turn screen shake off or down on this one, so that's really good.
Yeah.
This is the first game in a while where I don't think how long to beat makes any difference at all because there are literal options to just be like, hey, I hate puzzles. Just make it so every puzzle is turned off, essentially. Like, you're at the end
Sure.
of the puzzle. And, like, it's
I mean,
weird.
how long to beat is also an average, so
Yeah.
theoretically you would get some of those people, and then some of the people who are playing it on a harder difficulty. Like I feel like it would still kind of average out.
Yeah. Also, difficulty in this game means nothing because again, you could change every aspect of like if you're a person that really likes the scavenging survival stuff but really really hates the combat or the stealth specifically or something, you could like turn your stealth all the way down so that it's super easy and everything else at the hardest difficulty. Like it's very very cool. I really really like these accessibility options a lot because I don't like combat on a console. I fucking hate shooting with a controller. So that is down to like normal. Everything else is like on hard because everything else I've like a little more difficult. And the fact that I can do that is great. This is absolutely fantastic. And honestly, it's kind of the standard I think every game should strive for if they can. I really like it.
Yep. Yep. Um. Okay. Well, quick last question. That moment that happens 2 hours in, did you see it coming?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I didn't see it coming at all.
I, there's no way I can talk about this.
Yeah, no, I just wanted a yes or no answer. So
I expect in everything, anything can happen when it's the apocalypse. The apocalypse takes
yeah,
away
so
rule.
it took me by surprise entirely.
And you know what taught me that? The Walking Dead.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. I can't wait to talk
All
about
right.
this without with like spoilers at some point. That'll be great.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That's all I've
Yeah.
been
Anything
playing.
else you want to say? I've been playing. All right. I played one other game this week, and that is the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield
Okay,
called the Isle of Armor.
that's a huge shift in
In
mood.
tone. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This thing kind of sucks.
Oh,
It's like weird how the design ideas in this thing are super strange. So I'd say the first few hours, it's totally great. They added a whole bunch of Pokemon in, so not that I was like, I wasn't a person with my pitchfork being like, "Where's all my Pokemon?" I,
yeah,
I had more than enough Pokemon for me. There's only so many Pokemon I can catch.
yeah.
But now there's a bunch more, so just seeing a bunch of new things I can catch, that's super fun. The area is really nice. It's all pretty much like the wild area, so that's kind of the open roam. You can move the camera around, and there's a bunch of variety in it. Um, really like the area you're checking out. That's cool too. The way the kind of story of it works is you've been like accidentally brought into this like Pokemon training gym. It's not like a typical Pokemon gym. It's like an actual like karate gym or something. I'm not sure. But you have to complete the trials. The trials are pretty lame. They're about as interesting as most like Pokemon puzzles, I guess, and story stuff. Um, but when the part that gets bad is you get this new Pokemon called Cubfu, and
Okay.
Cubfu, the way Cubfu works is, it's like a kung fu bear kind of Pokemon. You need
Right.
to befriend Cubfu, and the way you do that is you take it to 3 specific spots on the island to like view the scenery, and now you're best friends. Okay, sure, whatever.
Okay.
Then you need to take Cubfu to one of 2 towers. There's the Tower of Darkness, and is it the Tower of Water? Is the other one? Anyway, um, once you take it to one of those towers, you need to go through these floors to like complete it, and that will allow Cub Fu to evolve. And depending on which tower you picked, it evolves into a different like type of or a different style of fighting Pokemon. Anyway, I can't do the towers because you need to like appropriately level up your Cub Fu to a certain level, and that changes upon whether or not you've beaten the game or not.
Okay.
So, if you haven't beaten the game and you play this thing, I believe you need to get Cub Fu to a level 30. And the Pokemon in the DLC, they don't exactly like scale 1-to-1 with you. They're kind of just, did you beat the game? Did you not? Okay, this is what the levels of these Pokemon will be. It's one or the other kind of thing. If you've beaten the game, which I have, which I'm assuming most people coming to this DLC have, right? Pokemon's been out for like 7-8 months. So most people are probably completed that game and they're coming to it after the fact. So all the Pokemon in the wild area are level 60. You need to get Cub Fu to level 70 to be able to do this tower. You get Cub Fu at level 10.
Okay.
I can't play the rest of this DLC until I level this guy up 60 times.
So this is like right against. I can't remember what we were talking about, but you were saying you hate grinding in games, and this is literally
probably like Final Fantasy VII. This is like an extreme level of grinding. This is insane. Holy smokes.
Gotcha.
Like, so I guess the ideal way to play this would be if you hadn't beaten the game, so you go to the Isle of Armor as soon as you possibly could if you started a new game. You got Cub Fu, and then you just kept Cub Fu in your party while you played the main game so that he would level up kind of organically as you're doing stuff. But as someone who's finished the game, I don't have a bunch of things to do. All I can do is run around and fight the same Pokemon over and over again to level this person up. People are in the chat are mentioning, use XP candies. That would mean I'd have to go to where essentially like kind of the raid fights are, keep doing those over and over again to get a whole bunch of what are essentially kind of rare candies, if you remember from the old days.
Sure.
But on a bit of a smaller scale. Sometimes on a bigger scale. There's like a range to what they can be. It's still just grinding. Like, holy smokes. Like, I think my Cub Fu is about level 30 right now, so I have 40 more levels to do it. At that point, I just said, like, no, you are not respecting my time. I'm not playing this anymore. When you buy the Isle of Armor, you have to get it as part of the expansion pass.
Yeah.
So I have another chunk of DLC coming sometime this fall. I guess I'll level up Cub Fu during that. So at least I'm doing two birds with one stone. Because I'm not just gonna sit, like, the best thing to do is like run around the Isle of Armor looking for Chanseys, because they give an unreasonably high level of experience, and just keep doing that over and over again for hours on end, which I'm not going to do. Like it is such a tall order they're asking me to do. It feels extremely out of place, and it's just like bewildering. Like it is so strange.
Yeah, that is kind of.
I can't believe there is such a wall here. I don't know. Because like I said, it is easier if you haven't beaten the game. But what is the percentage of players coming to this that haven't beaten the game? It's been 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems so counter to like what after like what kind of prolonging your time with a game should be. It should not be easier if you bought the game later. I don't know. Super strange. So like I said, I wish I could have played more because I was having fun with all these new Pokemon in the new area, but it's just I literally don't feel like it's respecting my time. So I'm just gonna not do that. It's like my options. I could play some Last of Us 2. I could hit my head against the wall in Pokemon. I could play Observation for our Patreon game. I could hit my head against the wall for Pokemon. Like, it's just it's never gonna win that argument. There's nothing I'm gonna want to. There's no reason I'm ever gonna want to do this. So hopefully, in the next piece of DLC, I can kind of get them both done at once. But we'll see. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. It's good for the first, 3 hours, though. But when you hit that wall, man. Someone in the chat's asking if I've done the Zera Aura. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. Raids, at least. I did one of those so that I get it in Pokemon Home. Yes. All right. Okay. That's it for what we've been playing. Let's do some news. A whole bunch of stuff happened.
Yeah.
Did you see this first one?
No. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, I just opened it now. So we were right. I guess it made sense.
So yeah, a few weeks back we had talked about when Christopher Nolan premiered a new Tenant trailer in Fortnite, and then he had also announced that he's bringing one of his movies to Fortnite. Well, we now know what it is. It depends on where you are in the world, your region, I guess.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna try and see country-wise. I know for the United States, this Friday, tomorrow, we get to watch Inception. I don't remember who guessed what.
John and
I want
I
to say
said Inception, and I think you said Batman, maybe? Or no, John said...
Did I say that?
No, John said Batman. And then we were like, would they do Batman in Fortnite? Like, weird licensing issues, maybe, or something?
Yeah, with WB. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this Friday is Inception. He's actually doing a few movies. I'm trying to figure out which days he's doing what, because it's Inception, Batman Begins, and The Prestige. I'm actually kind of surprised The Prestige made its way in there.
We mentioned The Prestige, but I think it was in the way of, that would be funny. There's no way, though.
Yeah. I want to see, what does Canada get? Canada's not even on this list of places.
So we probably get whatever is the States. I'm assuming.
What's weird is, like, because some of these countries are, like, grayed out, you can't click them. Canada's just not on here.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's Inception. You get Inception. I don't know what you have to do to get Batman Begins. I'm gonna pick, what does the UK get? The UK gets The Prestige tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Nice. Anyway, so for us, it's basically Inception. I'm assuming for you that means Inception as well. I'm assuming they're just piggybacking on the States.
Yeah,
if they're not even showing up. That's weird that they're not even showing up. This is the second biggest country, third biggest country in the world, second biggest country in the world, right?
By line mass, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. Anyway, that's funny. Are you gonna do it?
No. I own all of these movies on a better format if I wanted to watch them.
By better, I don't know. You can't shoot noobs at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm trying to think if I even have Fortnite installed somewhere. I think I have it on my Switch.
I think I have it on my Switch as well. Maybe not installed, actually. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Anyway, yeah, I probably won't watch this either. But part of me kind of wants to just, like, tune in just to, like, see what that even looks like.
Just to be part of it, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's weird. Anyway, moving on. Sam Barlow, the developer behind Her Story, and what was the most recent one? Something with lies in the name, right?
Oh, yeah, what the hell was that? I can't remember.
I don't remember. Anyway, maker of FMV mystery games, has announced on the 5th anniversary of Her Story, their next game is called Project A, and then, like, a bunch of blacked out boxes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
The store page also has just a bunch of stuff blacked out. Basically, the description of it is blacked out, new blackout, Sam Barlow blackout, half mermaid blackout is blackout, cinema blackout, death. Release date is 2, and then the other 3 letters are blacked out.
Yeah, looks weird.
Definitely looks weird. There's some kind of, like, weird snake-looking creature. I don't know. But I like the work Sam Barlow does.
Yep.
So I'm interested. I still need to play that second game, though. I've only played Her Story.
Yep, same.
Last week, when we had a big bunch of Pokemon announcements, they said that this week they will be doing another big announcement that ended up being Pokemon Unite, which is a Dota-style Pokemon game. Sure. Which I don't think anyone saw that coming.
I saw a tweet somebody made that's like, "Don't wake me up if it's a Pokemon MOBA or something," just like as a joke, and then it just, like, blew up. A bunch of people started retweeting it and laughing.
This game is being made by Tencent. It's in a mobile battle arena game created in cooperation with China's Tencent. It's free to play Polka Dota, as Kotaku's putting it, for Switch and mobile devices. There will be crossplay, so you can play with each other 5-on-5. I don't know, because it's Pokemon, I might try it. Maybe this is the way I can get in and see what a MOBA's like.
See, it's people like you that make me hate everything. It's just like, this gameplay has existed forever and you make fun of people, but now it's something that I like.
I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm making fun of anyone.
You guys talk shit about MOBAs all the time.
I'm not talking shit about MOBAs.
Now there's a Pokemon one there isn't.
I'll talk shit about the audience because I hear they're very savage and mean. Which is why I don't want to even attempt to learn that game. But now that there's a Pokemon skin, and maybe there'll be like a nice, easy tutorial.
Oh, yeah, maybe there is. I don't know. This looks like League of Legends with Pokemon on it. Like this, it looks the exact same. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see if it gets a weird toxic fan base like League. That would be kind of funny, but like at the same time horrible because, you know, Pokemon. We'll have to see, I guess.
This is weird. I don't think anyone saw this coming. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy. I thought it was a joke when people said it.
Yeah. And good for them.
Yeah.
Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 was announced.
Yes. I actually watched this New Game Plus Expo. Man, what a waste of time some of that shit was. Holy fuck.
I was going to say I did not watch it, but I didn't recognize a single one of the games announced in there except for Bloodstained 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm stoked for Curse of the Moon 2. Also, never thought that would happen. So, I'm stoked.
Did you think a Ritual of the Night 2 would have happened before a Curse of the Moon 2?
I didn't think a 2 would happen for either of them, frankly. Like, maybe another Bloodstained, but not like a Bloodstained 2. Like, another Bloodstained whatever of the insert Dracula Knight or whatever word here.
What style of game would you think it would have been?
It probably would have been similar, but like a different game, essentially.
Well, I mean, between the two Castlevania styles.
I think it would have been like a Bloodstained type thing, like a Ritual of the Night.
A Ritual of the Night, okay.
Yeah. A Metroidvania.
Well, those obviously take way longer to make than Curse of the Moon took. So you can definitely bang out another one of these. So
true.
What do we got next? Rogue Legacy 2 got a release date.
Yeah.
A new trailer just came out. It is hitting Steam Early Access on July 23rd. Which makes me think, since it's going to be early access, and the way the first game was structured to have like different castles, they'll just be adding in more castles as things go on.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah, so July 23rd, just under a month from now.
I'm stoked. That's great.
Apex Legacy is coming to mobile devices, with soft launching this year.
Oh. Okay.
Makes sense. All the other battle royals are on mobile, so why not?
Yeah.
I'm curious how that will play. I'm also really curious how the Switch version will play. I'm also curious if they're going to have cross save and not just cross play. I'm very curious.
Sure.
Marvel's Avengers has announced that it is going to have the free upgrade service. So, what's the Xbox One? Is it Smart Upgrade? Smart Delivery? Smart
Delivery. Yeah.
It'll have Smart Delivery on Xbox and on PlayStation. It's not branded, but if you get a PS4 copy, you will also get the PS5 one for free. They are targeting 60 4K, so that's good.
Cool.
I don't know. I have no thoughts really about that game. It seems like such a wild card.
Yep, I'm with you.
Ready at Dawn, the developers of The Order 1886.
Oh God. Okay.
As well as they did they did a bunch of more recently all those like Lone Echo Arena VR games that are super popular. And as such, they've been acquired by Oculus Facebook. Which makes sense. They're a pretty prestigious VR developer, so much like Beat Saber, they got scooped up by the hardware maker.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay, I think this is the biggest news of the week. Microsoft is shutting down Mixer.
Oh my god, what a clusterfuck this was. Holy shit.
This was crazy. They also, excuse me, they dropped this announcement during the Apple press conference, WWDC, at the beginning of. So I really think they were trying to just like sneak it by because everyone was going to be focusing on Apple.
Yeah.
But this is huge. I didn't see this coming. Like, holy smokes.
This is crazy. Yeah.
When did Ninja get contracted over there?
He got contracted for 3 years a year ago.
Was it a full year ago, or it would have been? I'm trying to think, when was the exact time?
I mean, we could probably, that's Googleable.
It would have been, yeah, somewhere right around this time, June, July-ish. Right? So he was there for basically 1 full year.
Yeah. I'm trying
From
to
what I
find
understand, all those streamers that got like exclusivity deals with Mixer that came from Twitch, like Ninja, like Shroud, like whoever else, their contractors just got like bought out, so they made just a chunk of money and they are free to go and stream wherever they want.
Yeah, they're free agents now for sure.
Which that must be crazy. Like, they just got a ton of money and they just get to like go back to Twitch. Like,
Yeah.
lucky them, I guess, right?
It's not only that, but they can actually use this as leverage for re-signing with Twitch. This is it's absolutely crazy.
Mixer is shutting down July 22nd. Yeah, it does seem like they made such a huge gamble and like put so much money into, because like I still don't know how much money. I don't think it's been announced how much money Ninja got, but it was up in the like 6-7 figures probably, whatever.
The unofficial word that people have confirmed is close but not exact is 30 million.
Yeah. Like, Microsoft put a ton of money in this, and then a year later they're just like, now we're closing the entire thing down. July 22nd, all Mixer sites are going to redirect, here's the other crazy thing, to Facebook Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, does anyone like that?
No.
Yeah, I feel like more and more these days people are moving away from Facebook.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's weird.
Who in 2020 is making a Facebook account? Like a brand new one for the first time. You know what I mean?
Maybe like a 13-year-old? I don't know.
I don't think so, because kids don't use Facebook.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know who is.
Yeah, I don't know. They've said Facebook Gaming will also utilize Project xCloud in the future.
Okay.
I think Major Nelson came out and said, because a lot of people are wondering, like, does this mean there's going to be Facebook Gaming integration in the Xbox Series X dashboard, like there is such strong integration with Mixer in the Xbox One's dashboard?
I'm sure.
Major Nelson has said no.
Oh.
He did kind of word it such that, like, no, it won't be the same, like, integrated in the same way or as much or whatever. So that he did kind of leave a bit of room that it could still be integrated, but it sounds like they're not going to be pushing it as hard as they pushed Mixer with the Xbox One.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's good, I guess. I don't need a bunch of Facebook Gaming stuff up on my console, but yeah,
sure.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Every day I get closer and closer to deleting my Facebook account. I barely use my Facebook account.
Man, Shroud and Ninja made out like fucking bandits out of this. It's very cool for them.
Holy smokes. I did not expect that coming. That was a totally WTF moment right there.
Huge. Yep.
Nintendo, this is being reported by Bloomberg, is apparently, quote unquote, retreating from the mobile gaming market.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like in the last little while their games have been on the decline mobile wise. So they're going to be prioritizing those a lot less. Analysts are assuming that they will still be making smartphone games down the line, but it's likely these will just be reasons to appeal shareholders. They cited things like everyone hates those games as a reason.
Okay, yeah.
Which makes sense. You know, they're crazy with in-app purchases. I personally think they dilute the what could be great brands
Yep.
with these terrible mobile versions of them.
Super predatory too.
Yep.
Get kids in, make
We
them
got
spend
someone in the
$100.
chat saying I play Fire Emblem Heroes and I hate it. Yep, that's pretty actual.
I
Yep.
knew it was Wayward before I even read the name. I knew it.
So,
that's great.
Yeah, there you go. Those games brought in like a ton of money. Dragalia Lost was bringing in a bunch of money. I think Mario Kart was bringing in a bunch. I know Super Mario Run did in its time, and then Fire Emblem Heroes made just gangbusters. People are saying Mario Run was good, was fun. I actually really liked Mario Run. I would have played a sequel to that for sure.
Sure.
Like I liked what they did with those two. Someone in the chat, shout outs to the crazy $30 DLC packs for Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah, it's that shit that makes me fucking hate their mobile stuff. I'm okay with like the idea of paying like $10 for a Mario game on my phone if it doesn't have a whole bunch of gross shit in it like that.
Yeah, Mario Run I don't believe had much microtransactions. It just had the like $10 unlock. You get the rest of the game.
I'm totally fine with that. That makes sense. But people like a free game that they can spend $1 million in, and I don't get it.
Anyways, so I guess that's fine. I just wish they had put out better mobile games, man. I would have loved like a good Animal Crossing on that. That would have been awesome. Anyway, we kind of teased this last week because it was getting teased to us. The Crash puzzles were being sent to press. Like a day later, I think it was even maybe later that night. Leaked images of the box art, yada yada. This got announced on Monday. I think it was Monday morning. There's a Jeff Keighley. Oh yeah, we got to talk about that Jeff Keighley stream. There's a Jeff Keighley stream where they announced Crash Bandicoot 4, subtitled "It's About Time," which I think is pretty good.
It's a good title.
There's also time travel involved in the game.
It looks great. It looks like a new Crash. I'm in.
Yeah, it makes me like want to go back, and I need to play more of that trilogy. I did not play enough of the trilogy, and I have that on my Switch, so I put that in my Switch and started Last of Us.
Yeah,
that's how far I've gotten so far.
Sure.
But I do plan to play some more of that. I'm assuming you didn't watch that Keighley stream on Monday morning?
Oh god, no.
Co-hosted by Alf himself?
Oh no.
Did you hear about this?
I did not.
Oh, it was great. There was segment I'm not being sarcastic. I'm a fan of Alf. I like Alf. Alf is funny.
Okay.
This was great. There was a whole section. Look up go to YouTube, search a like Alf highlight clip from this stream. Alf had a whole segment about how he created Hatsune Miku.
Okay.
Which are just like things I would never have thought of that concept. I would never have thought that I would have heard Alf say Hatsune Miku in my entire life. I think it's worth looking it up. That's pretty fun. It reminded me of the Game Awards when he got Beaker and Honeydew on the Muppets on for that segment. That was fantastic, and Keighley just did it again, and he got Alf on his show, and I'm here for it.
I like that Alf has a bunch of Alf figures on his back shelf.
Oh, of course he would.
Fucking Alf.
I learned this. A friend of mine told me when we were talking about this. Did you know that the Alf sets were like death traps because there were so many like holes and pathways on the floor for the puppeteers to be that people would just constantly get like really close to just completely falling and like tripping hard and stuff?
That's terrible. That makes sense, but damn.
It makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's great.
Alf.
That's it for news. Let's do some questions.
All right.
If you want to send a question in, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. I'll read this first one from Jaren. With all the complaints with the Final Fantasy VII Remake easy difficulty being too easy, what do you think is the best way to handle difficulty in a game? An easy, normal, or hard option, no difficulty choice at all, dynamic difficulty which scales on how well you're playing the game.
Oh, Last of Us 2 did this. Let every single aspect that could be changed if possible.
That's for sure. Yep, super nice. What do you think about the dynamic difficulty one?
Um, as somebody who likes to play a game with the feeling of I'm progressing to become like really good at it, I'm okay with it because it keeps you at a level where you're always going to like run into a little bit of pushback, and like it's up to you getting better to like kind of like it's like working out a muscle or something, right? Like you always have to like have a little bit the same resistance or like the same weight the whole time to like keep it going.
You're going the if you're getting better at it, you're saying
Yeah.
it's gonna get harder. Wait, see, I was gonna say I think it's the opposite because like if I'm
Oh,
doing poorly and then I complete it after it dumbed itself down,
that
I
feels
can't really
bad.
say to myself, yeah, I beat the game on normal when it's like, well, no, you didn't. You actually beat it on easy times 1.7 kind
Yeah.
of. Whereas if it just stays locked at normal, I can be like, I rose to the occasion and I completed
Yeah,
it. But I guess if
that's
you're
true.
looking at the other way, then yes, you're constantly always being challenged.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it's just kind of like two methods of thinking. Like, part of me is like dynamic difficulty. I know I'm always playing the hardest I can handle, so
Yeah.
I will kind of get
Mm.
through the game in like the most like kind of streamlined way without it just being like a breeze.
Yeah.
Like almost like the ideal, you almost kind of get like the ideal playthrough. But if you're someone that wants to like, no, I want to like lock it here and then yeah, as like an accomplishment,
Yeah.
um, then that's something else. I don't know. I think I'd like dynamic difficulty. That sounds cool. I don't think I'd be upset if a game if I couldn't tell that it was dumbing itself down. I think that would be the key. Like if I was playing like for example like The Last of Us and uh one encounter was kicked my butt and then the next encounter enemies are just like running into the wall and letting me shoot them. I mean
Yeah.
that's not okay. But like if it was like subtle enough where it's like, oh, they just took a split second to see me longer than normal and it allowed me to get the upper hand, I think that works. I think that works out.
On a weird side tangent, how do you feel about when you're banging your head against a part that's like a little difficult and this game gives you like those little tips on the loading screen that's like you can always turn down the difficulty if you're having trouble or whatever. Like
Yeah, I mean,
motherfuckers.
I don't find it like offensively. I think what's pretty silly is when like they give you like a tip like, "Hey, did you know you can?" And then they tell you like the easiest thing, and it's like, "Oh no shit, I can mantle, thanks." Or they tell you how to like dodge. It's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, yeah, I forgot how to dodge. Thanks, game."
You're right, those are more condescending actually.
Yeah,
Remember, you can
but I
shoot
guess they're good
enemies.
because they're for the people who like come back to the game later and they're like, "Oh, I totally forgot. You can dodge in this game."
Yeah.
Right. Of course. That makes perfect sense. One thing, I don't know if Last of Us told me this early on and I missed it, and then they told it to me later, but for the longest time I didn't know if infected could see my flashlight.
If they have eyes, they can see your flashlight.
I don't think they can see your flashlight.
They absolutely can. If they can
Could I
see, they can see it.
I don't know because I didn't know if they could or not, and then the game straight up told me infected can't see your flashlight, and I was like, oh, thanks for telling me. That's actually super useful. I was curious.
The game told me that, and then I literally stood in front of an infected with my flashlight on until he ran at me.
Well,
That he
maybe he'd
wasn't.
smell you or something.
I don't know. Do they smell in this game?
I don't know. The dogs do.
Yeah, the dogs are rough.
What? There's gonna be like infected dogs or something, isn't there?
I have no idea. I hope not.
God, it's actually I would feel better about killing an infected dog than a live dog,
No, fuck
and
those
I've already had to
dogs.
kill some live dogs.
Yeah, fuck those dogs. After what they put me
Yeah.
through, they deserve everything they get. Suku
Oh
Suku
man,
writes in and says, if you were an Animal Crossing villager, what species would you be and what personality type?
that's a good question.
As somebody who doesn't know Animal Crossing like at all, what do they mean by what species? Are they just animals?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're like anthropomorphized animals. Like
Okay.
they walk around on two legs, and
I'd be a bear, and I'd be grumpy.
there's bears. Yeah, I think there's a grumpy one.
Okay,
I think
that's
there
me.
actually is like a grumpy one. Yeah.
That's me.
I'm trying to think. I like whichever one to pick. I want to pick the robot variant. There's only a couple robots in the game, which are very good. There's a robot frog named Ribbot,
That's pretty good.
which is very good. And then there's a robot ostrich, and I have this one in my town named Sprocket. Not as good of a name, um, but I just like that it's a robot. That's super cool. People are saying that you just described the character Groucho. So I guess that's the grumpy bear in the game. So you would be Groucho.
Dope. Optional.
I would probably be the working out. I mean, that's what Sprocket is. He's a robot ostrich that works out.
Okay.
Not that I have any kind of fondness for ostriches, but like, I think those guys are just super funny and how much they're like, yo, what's up, Sean? I just did 800 push-ups and that's just my warm-up. How's your morning going? And then you can give them like a scarf or something, or like an apple.
Yeah. All right. He has an optional question. What's your house look like?
My current house, I got like kind of like the hay roof, and it's like it's yellow, so it looks like hay. I'm trying to think. I have an arcade in the basement, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
Uh, what's my upstairs? Oh, my upstairs is super creepy. I just put a bunch of masks on the wall and like one candle in the middle of the room. And then I put a
The
bunch of
fuck?
floor lights underneath the masks, so like the bottom half of them are illuminated, kind of like when you're like put a flashlight under your chin. That's what my upstairs is.
Wow.
Yeah. What would your house look like?
Could it just look like a house? Again, I don't like white walls. Probably like a
Yeah, you can do
TV,
that.
a computer.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a computer in there.
Okay. I'm deciding if I need a bed or not. I'll say yes.
You can have like a hammock or a sleeping bag, or you can have a bed.
I'll have a bed.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm good
Nice.
with that.
VGC Kenny says, if you were in charge of subtitling remakes for games, what subtitle would you give to which games? So I think we're supposed to come up with like some like fun play on words, like
Oh.
remastered edition.
Oh. Okay.
I think this is gonna be too hard to come up with a good one.
This is very hard.
Okay, let's think of like a series and maybe we can go off that. Can you
Okay.
think of a good okay, can you think of a good one for Tony Hawk if they didn't just call it they just did remastered, right? 1 and 2 remastered or whatever. Isn't that what the name of it is?
I think so. Yeah.
Is there a better one that we
Um.
can like based on like the board or the wheels? Maybe something like maybe this is better for like a fitness game, but because they're for 1 and 2 remastered, they're scanning all the skaters again at their current age,
Right.
which I think is hilarious because you're gonna play like old skaters. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. What if it was something like kind of like sweating to the oldies?
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. Man, I want that game so bad. I'm trying to think of like other remakes or what are some other remakes coming out? Like Rehydrated is another one, obviously.
Rehydrated, SpongeBob Rehydrated.
That
Yeah,
was
that's a
pretty
good
good.
one.
Yep.
Wasn't there one that just got announced that had a pretty silly name?
Re-Reckoning is hilarious. Amalur's
That's the
or
one.
uh
Re-Reckoning. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning.
Yeah. Man, I still think Remastered is my favorite one.
Remastered is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything creative enough right now. This one I needed to like noodle around
Need to sit
for
down a
longer.
bit. Yeah. Okay, Lineback says, what's a game that you like a lot that you also feel is overrated? I mean, Call of Duty.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Basically all of them.
Is this kind of like a guilty pleasure game?
No, I think just like a game that you like, but you also realize that maybe the fervor for it is maybe a bit more than it even deserves at this point.
Okay. All right. Um.
I feel like this is like, although I don't like love them, but Pokemon games I think are like
I was
way too
actually just
beloved.
about to say Pokemon once you had finished your thought. Um. Which I mean, I think they're good games. Yeah. The level of intensity around them seems unreal. Uh.
Undertale. Holy shit.
Oh, Undertale's a good one. Yeah, Undertale's a good one.
Yeah, that one hurt.
The thing I was gonna say is Pokemon is I'm surprised people have been so high on it despite the games changing or improving like so slowly over time.
Yeah.
Is odd. Yeah, Undertale's a good one. I don't know, Fortnite, but I feel like I'm just not the audience, so I can't even like speak. I don't. But hang on, it has to be a game I like. I mean, I don't dislike Fortnite, but I'm not into Fortnite, so that doesn't count.
I really like Terraria and Minecraft, and I think those are kind of overrated. Terraria more than Minecraft. Minecraft was at
You
least
think
revolutionary.
Terraria is overrated?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The way people talk about that game is crazy. And as somebody as part of that group, I will say, we're crazy.
I feel a little bit of that way with Stardew Valley,
Oh yeah, I agree.
but like at the same time, like I can understand why people are way into this, and it's a good game, but it's so disconnected with me that I'm just like nah, it seems like a bit much.
Yeah.
Final Insanity writes, inspired by tonight's cooking gone wrong, what's the worst thing you've ever cooked that you still ate?
Oh, that you still ate. Okay.
A few months back, I was cooking some beef bulgogi, and I must have not cooked it long enough because I had stomach aches for like 2 days straight after that.
Oh.
Which I feel like that doesn't quite count because I didn't know it was like undercooked at the time. So like when I ate it, I was like, "Oh, this tastes great. This is totally fine." And then later on, I realized, I bet I didn't cook it long enough, and I threw the rest of it away.
It's probably something to do with noodles. I hate like mushy noodles, and I'm sure that.
Oh, overcooked noodles. Okay,
And I'm
I
sure
feel like
there
that's
was
not
something.
they're not terrible though.
Yeah, it's probably the worst thing I've ever cooked that I still ate because I throw out something if it's like burnt and unedible.
See, I feel like burnt would be like, when was the last time you like burnt something and still ate it?
Probably like
Um,
yeah, never. I don't think I've ever ate something I burned that bad.
I don't think I've really burned anything that bad, but
Right.
I mean, there's other times where I'm like, oh, this whole side is black. I should probably like cut this off
Yeah, I do that
to
too.
eat this properly.
Sure.
My girlfriend and I, what we were trying to make these dumpling things. They're not exactly dumplings. I forgot the name of them. They're some kind of like Georgian dumpling. And she found the recipe and she was making them. But unfortunately, we had so many of them we had to make. You know, we had to like put the filling in and then tie up the little top. We let them sit for so long while we were tying them all that a bunch of them started getting soggy and the bottoms were getting weak.
Oh, yeah.
So that when we put them in the water, a lot of them
Broke.
opened up in the water, which sucked. So we also tried frying some of them because like they're kind of like pierogies, so you can fry pierogies as well.
Sure.
So we thought we would try frying them a bit just so they would like hold their consistency a bit better. We burnt a lot of those ones too, but we still ate those. That was a complete failure, and it took so long. God, it was like 4 hours of cooking, and what we ended up getting was a complete disaster of food. Like everything was
Yeah.
broken. It was just basically, here's a pile of mush. Enjoy your meal.
Yep, those are the worst for sure. Okay, Gutang Clan says, what are everyone's plans for 4th of July? I know Canada doesn't celebrate, but is it a cookout day or something? Absolutely not. It is not.
But you have you have Canada Day.
Yeah, but
Just
that's
right, like
4th of
right beside
July
it. So,
makes, like, we don't do anything for that at all.
right. Well, I mean, you can just say what. So if you can change the question to the 1st of July.
This year, I'm sure. I think if you're going out to, like, parties this year, you're super irresponsible, so I kind of hope you're not. But
Yeah. We have no plans, obviously. We're not going out to anything. I don't know if you guys are getting this. We're getting it in my area, and I keep seeing like people online saying it. Fireworks every night?
no.
No, so maybe it's just like a states thing. But I swear for like at least like a month, we have heard fireworks every night. I don't think I've seen them, but we hear them every night. To the point, like I was looking on Twitter, like what I typed like fireworks every night, and like there's a whole fireworks in NYC hashtag. People are saying it's a states thing. Like this is a thing. People are putting fireworks up every single night for like a month. What is going on?
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people are saying they're hearing it. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's super odd. I have no plans. It's a long weekend. I don't think we're going anywhere.
Second part to his question is also, did anyone catch Watchmen on HBO last year / when they had free Watchmen on HBO? Any thoughts? I thought we talked about this. Yeah, we watched the whole thing, Sean and I, when it was.
Yeah, we did talk. That show was awesome.
It's very good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. And yeah, I think they mentioned it because it was up free on HBO this last weekend.
Cool.
That thing is super good. Yeah, I remember I keep telling my girlfriend, like, you should watch it. And then I keep thinking, like, but she doesn't have any attachment to the first Watchmen stuff. Should we just watch that movie? Like, that's the easiest way to get into it, right?
Yeah.
I'll just tell her, like, the differences.
Yeah, I think so.
Because, like, reading the comic, that's such a commitment.
Yeah. If you can do it, it's great, though. That's a great book. But yeah.
For sure. But it is such, like, a commitment compared to, like, or watch this 2-hour movie. Sure. But yes. I think that show was fantastic. One of my favorites from last year. I can't recommend that show enough.
Yeah, I feel like not a lot of people talked about it after it was done, though. Like, maybe it's because it was overshadowed by some other shows, but it was very good.
All right, that's going to do it for questions this week. If you want to send in a question, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Last of Us 2.
Mine is also Last of Us 2.
Nice.
If you are a patron of our Patreon, tonight's the last night to submit something on the submission thread for tomorrow's poll. And yes, tomorrow there will be a new poll for next month's game. So if you're listening to the archive of this, it should be live. Go over there and vote for what you'd like to talk about. And next week, we will be doing our observation episode. So tune in next week to come listen to our thoughts on that game.
Oh, observation is on Game Pass. So if you want to play, if you have Game Pass, why not play it? It's a few hours long.
Play along with us. Yeah. So I bought that on Epic because it was like half price.
Yeah.
But I bought it like a month ago and I hadn't played it yet. I had played 1 hour. So I was like, can I refund this? No, you can only refund stuff within 2 weeks.
Oh, damn. Lame.
So I couldn't refund it, but I started it over on Game Pass because I was like, might as well get like achievements. So I basically caught up to where I was.
Okay. That's good.
But yeah, anyway. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.